Alright, let's watch this.
So, what makes an ideal chocolate chip cookie? What ingredients and what techniques? Today, I'd like to answer that question.
Who is this? Weissman. I don't know who this is. Joshua Weissman.
He has a lot of views on this. 2 point something million.
I'm gonna explain them very briefly and then we're gonna get right into it. The first thing is melted butter. Not cream, none of that other bullshit. Melted butter.
Melt your butter. You're not listening.
The first thing is melted butter. Not cream, none of that other bullshit. Melted butter. That leads to a chewier cookie. The second thing is an added egg yolk. The egg yolk adds richness and fudginess. So now you've got fudginess and chewiness. And then the third thing is to rough chop a chocolate bar rather than using chocolate chips. Because chocolate chips are complete bullshit in my opinion. You get tiny little bits of chocolate. It's not fun. When you rough chop your chocolate, you get a beautiful sort of like chocolatey marbled look on the top, and then you get random little sporadic bits of just like pure molten melty chocolate. And come on, yeah, that's a given. If you want to use chocolate chips, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just saying that it's not as good. It's sort of a weird sort of cookie hack that I recently learned called the pan bang method. Well. Actually, I'll just show you further down in the video because I can't give it all away. Gotta get that full YouTube watch time, you know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
So, and you're gonna add in 200 grams or 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons.
Thoroughly combine and add in your melted butter. Right?
Once that's combined, you're gonna go ahead and add a whole egg. Increase your speed to medium-low.
We have to copy it exactly.
We do have to copy it
6
exactly.
grams.
Okay.
Now here's an interesting cookie hack. Yep, you're just gonna drop the pans. It is called the pan bang method. I discovered it off of a blog called The Vanilla Bean Blog. Now I know it may seem strange at first, but now you didn't think I'd skip that B-roll part.
Yeah, I would have thought they'd take out the bottom ones before. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. Just kept banging that pan. That was reverse. Oh, he threw some sea salt on top. Didn't mention that. What's that other recipe, by the way, before you?
Making In-N-Out.
Oh, wow. So topical. Maybe we just had some In-N-Out.
Shut up.
Okay.
I'm about to play Smash. Trying to get some cash. I'm gonna eat a rash. Hey, it's Rash Balash.
What's up, everyone? So we're about to make the cookie, the ultimate Joshua Weissman cookie from that video. First thing I'm gonna do is cut up some cacao chocolate, dark chocolate. This is 72%, so it's 2% over what he said, but it should basically be the same thing. And then Fuad's gonna melt some butter. So it called for 1/4 cup of butter, so this 1 stick is 1/4 cup.
No, 1 stick is a half.
Sorry, it called for 1/2 cup. And then 7 ounces of chocolate. This is 5 ounces. So
it's a little bit over. It's like 5.6, 5.7, 5.8.
We're gonna add in like a little bit more dark chocolate later on. But first up, I'm gonna cut this up for what we have so far, and then Paul's gonna melt the butter. Okay, so first up I'm gonna get a small bowl to put in the flour, salt, and baking soda, and to be exact, for flour there's 1.5 cups, for baking soda it's 1/2 teaspoon, salt 1/2 teaspoon. Now I gotta whisk this together, so I'm gonna take my KitchenAid whisk, and whisk. See how well it's getting. Oh wow, that actually works pretty well. Now, in this bowl, we're going to put the sugars, and then once we got that in, we're going to put in the melted butter. So, for sugar, we have 1/2 cup of white sugar, and then 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of packed brown sugar. So we got some organic light brown sugar. So we're gonna do 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons of packed brown sugar, and then 1/2 cup of white sugar. So now we're gonna put that in here. I'm gonna bring that front and center. We got the sugars in here, which means that we have to put in the melted butter. Now this is about to be the first time we're using our KitchenAid. Like, we haven't even tried it out ourselves yet.
That's actually not true.
Oh, well, I guess we did do like a pasta dough roller. So
yeah, you stand correct.
Alright, put it.
Okay, before I spill it everywhere.
Okay, so we got the 1/2 cup of butter in here. So let's mix it up. Wow.
Look at it go.
So while using it, something I noticed is that stuff is basically sticking to the sides. They do have pieces that have rubber, like flat rubber that basically scrapes the sides up itself. So you don't have to do this, but basically we got this little spatula with this pasta roller that we got, and I'm just going to use it to scrape into the sides so that everything gets mixed that's in here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put in the eggs. So one full egg and then 1 egg yolk. So there's 1 egg. Thank you, Fod. And then 1 egg yolk. Thank you, Fod. Oh, we need to put in the vanilla extract.
Okay. How much?
6 grams.
Or so you have that in American units, in freedom units.
2 teaspoons.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Holy snap.
That's a lot.
Do whatever you want. You gotta follow the recipe, bro.
There's 2 teaspoons. I think that looks very well mixed. Okay, so add in flour mixture to wet mixture until combined. So we're going to keep mixing it. And then we have the flour mixture that we made earlier, which is the flour, baking soda, and salt, which we're going to put into this. Hopefully that's seen. Put on 2. Now it says to fold in the chocolate. So here's what we have right now. And we have the perfect folding tool. So now it asks us to fold in the chocolate, and then we're going to basically cover it up. Now, as much as he hates chocolate chips, because we don't have exactly 7 ounces, we are just going to put in a couple of chocolate chips. So here's our chocolate chips. I think it'll be fine. I mean, I don't think it's going to really change what we get. Right now, to me, it seems like this cookie dough is pretty dry, in my opinion.
Really?
It's actually, I don't know.
I can't tell from here. I trust your judgment.
It's just very much like the cookie dough that you get in the packs, which to me is pretty dry. Honestly, I think
this does look like cookie dough straight from the pack.
Yeah.
Also, it does look pretty buttery.
It does look pretty buttery. I think we actually would have been fine without the chocolate chips.
I don't care.
I know. Me neither.
You know what I would love to add in here, but we're not going to do because it really would change it?
Walnuts?
Walnuts.
Yeah, me too.
Or pecans.
Or yeah. Ooh, pecans.
Alright, refrigerate. I'll go get the cling wrap.
So here's what we got. We're gonna cover this up now, and then we'll be back in 30 minutes. Said 30 to 45 minutes, or if you want to wait, you can do it like a day before. I think when you do that, for some reason the flavor intensifies. I haven't actually looked into why. Maybe I'll look into it in these 30 minutes. Probably not. Okay, so here's what we got. We're gonna put this in the fridge.
We are.
Okay, we're gonna put this in the fridge, and then we're gonna preheat the oven. Okay, whatever. Put it in the fridge. Alright, so now we have waited for 30 minutes, so it's pretty cold. And I looked it up real quickly, and apparently the reason you put it in the fridge is so that the flour rehydrates, and also so the fats solidify, so the cookie doesn't spread as much. So
now we know.
Now we know. Okay, so I'm going to do the smaller ones on this pan right here, and then Flaud's going to do the large ones, similar to what Weissman did in his video, just to replicate his case study. So we have our ice cream scooper right here, and we're going to grab some scoops of the cookie dough and put it in, and then we preheated the oven to 350 or 360, which is about 180 degrees centigrade. So yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it.
What I got over here is a freaking snowball.
That is massive. I don't know how much these are going to spread, so I'm going to actually not do it super tight like we... Usually when I make my cookies, they don't spread so much.
I think ours normally have a lower, less butter.
Less butter, less sugar, more flour.
Yeah.
Because we would just make a crap ton, but
They're also tiny.
they were very small.
Right.
We would put walnuts, which dried it up even more. We used oatmeal.
Not all oatmeal, but some oatmeal.
No.
Should I do a fifth one?
Sure. I'll put in just the center.
Yeah. You know, he thought about it. He thought about putting one in the center, and then he didn't. I'm curious to see if if I just made a Faustian bargain. There are a lot of chips.
Yeah, I think we would have been fine with 5 ounces of chocolate because I'm kind of getting competition for the balance of dough, and I mean, if you remember from his video though, his things were just covered in chocolate.
That's true.
So I guess in the future, those 3 bars would have worked, just no chocolate chips added. So here's what we got for our first batch of small cookies. Here's what we have left. We have about 3 small cookies left. And then we got these 5 massive Chungus cookies to try and replicate Joshua Weissman's cookies. Now, we couldn't have done this without that KitchenAid. There's no other option that we had, so well worth the purchase. No other option. No hand mixers. That's not a thing anymore. And we cannot forget about the pan drops. So we're going to just do this after 6 minutes, and then after 2 to 3 more minutes, we're going to do it again. These we're going to take out after 8 to 10 minutes, these smaller ones. The bigger ones we're going to take out after 12 to 15 minutes, and we're going to drop those 3 times. So we're going to do it again after 2 to 3 more minutes. Okay, so it's been 6 minutes, so I'm going to drop the pans. Alright, so here we have the cookies, and they're baking it up. So I'm just gonna grab this pan and then drop it. Okay, that's good enough for me, honestly. Then we got this one. And I'm gonna just drop it. Okay, I think that was good. Got the chocolate spreading a little bit. And now I'm going to set a timer for 2 to 3 minutes and come back and do the same thing. Alright, and we're doing it one more time for this. I'm sorry. And then we need to do it for the bottom ones. Alright, so I'm going to give these bottom cookies 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to get these out in about 6 more minutes. Alright guys, I think the last, or not the last, but the biggest batch is ready, so let's go grab those. Oh my gosh, look at these. These look awesome. Check out this one and this one. It definitely looks cooler when the chocolate is all spread around the top. I mean, this one looks delicious, but I mean, these, I already want to eat these. So I'm gonna let this sit on here for a little bit as well. I think it just needs a little bit more time to like firm up underneath. And then we'll come back in just a minute and check how it cracks, and how it tastes. I think taste is the best part. To tell you guys, I want to tell you guys if these are cookies worth making. And of course I'm going to get my brother to try as well. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Now you didn't think I'd skip that B-roll part, did you? Alright, Fuad, are you ready to eat a cookie?
I'm ready to enjoy one of these Weissman cookies.
Weissman? Alright, let's split.
Classic rules, you split, I pick, right?
Yep.
There you go with the big one.
Alright, fine.
Cheers. You can see that there's a piece, is there? Yeah, there's a big thick piece in the center here.
Yeah. It splits very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
It's super chewy.
We've left this sitting for like an hour and a half. It's cooled off at this point, and it's still chewy, which is always nice.
It's really good.
Super rich, sweet. What are your thoughts on chocolate?
Here's my thoughts. I got chocolate on my face.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. First up is the chocolate. I think it's kind of a little bit too bitter, but I mean, he said 60-70%. We went a little bit higher. I think 60% would be maybe better.
Mm-hmm.
Something on the lower end, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I know some people really like bitter chocolate. I think people would enjoy this. I think definitely go within that 60-70% though. I think a little bit higher than that, it just gets too bitter.
Mm-hmm. Especially in contrast to the rest of the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the batter of this is pretty darn sweet. I wouldn't say it's sickeningly sweet. It's more than I would normally do. But the result of that, the richness, the butter, sugar, and the eggs in here is that the center of this is super chewy. Like you can see how easily it bends. Not this piece,
So
but earlier
gooey.
when we had it. But the outside of it is still crisp. It's got a nice, satisfying bite and mouthfeel to it.
Yeah, I think same thing. Like, I don't like it this sweet usually, but it makes a really good cookie. So
this is a cookie where I want to eat more, but at the same time I'm satisfied having probably eating a whole cookie.
it's like a good cookie you get from a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't really have it all the time, but you get it once in a while.
I actually like the approach of making a big cookie for this.
I think a bigger cookie is better too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And you just get one.
look how dope this looks.
Mm-hmm.
This looks so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the smaller ones, I don't know, it's a little bit harder to make the balls. It's definitely more work. And I think the bigger ones just have a more satisfying result.
Should we have some smaller ones?
Yeah, let's bring over some smaller ones and show them what it looks like.
I picked the best looking ones.
Yeah, Fall got the best looking ones. I mean, see, like, this is just like a mini version of that, kind of. Like, it's kind of similar, but I think, like, in general, you'll get cooler results with the bigger cookies because you have more of a likelihood. I mean, you can honestly just make it so that the bigger chunks are on the top and you get like a cooler design, but also, like, you want to split one of these, or?
Yeah, sure.
It's not as gooey. It seems a little bit more crunchy.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that.
Still really soft, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, overall. But definitely not to the level of this. It's definitely more crisp around the edges. There's less of a gooey center. I mean, like, it's smaller.
Your mouth is covered in chocolate.
I think it's also easier to get overpowered by the chocolate in the smaller cookie.
I agree with that.
So,
Texture,
great.
flavor,
A little bit too sweet, and
Chocolate.
was too bitter for me. But that's, again, everyone will think something different.
yeah.
This is more on the sweeter end, I would
Mhm.
say.
Healthiness.
Not very healthy.
But then again, you like have one of these big ones, as we said, and that's going to be satisfying.
Yeah. Put it with some milk. Oh, that would be so good. The mouthfeel, I think it's great. Like, you have like the nice crisp edges, and then like a decent amount of gooiness.
It's satisfying to
It's
eat.
very satisfying. Satisfaction. No, satisfaction is like satisfying to eat.
What occasion would you make these cookies for?
I would make these if I'm making like, if I know how many people are coming over, then I'll make that number of big cookies so that everyone gets more. Appearance, what do you think?
It is satisfying. It's satisfying to have in your mouth. It's satisfying to look at.
Yeah, I think dropping the pan like he was doing, it definitely adds some texture and the look. Like this, even though it doesn't have any big chocolate on the top, it has some like cracks in it, Still looks nice.
I definitely want to try that with other cookies that we make. Any changes you want to see to this?
Okay, well the vanilla didn't really do anything. Maybe there's a slight bit of vanilla taste, but
yeah,
I feel like it doesn't really add much. Less sugar and slightly less cacao percentage for the chocolate.
Okay, I'd say also nuts, but that's just my personal. That's personal preference.
Nuts would be good.
Yeah, personal preference there.
So we give this a thumbs up because we don't have a rating system yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, This is 3 toes and 1 thumb up from Fwa.
And me. Thank you everyone for watching this. If you like this sort of video, let me know down in the description below. I just want to, I'm just testing some stuff out. It's fine. I'm just testing some stuff out, seeing some new content I thought I would enjoy making. That way I would make more videos. So, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know down in the description below. If you have any comments about what might make it better, what might make it worse, you can let me know. Or what's holding it back, let me know. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
This is the best day of my life. I met Rush Blast, the really famous YouTuber!
Just to make it clear, this is a very abusive work environment.